Okay, so pretty much what this does work when I write down -7 instead of +7. So pretty much what we need to do is you're going to take these four separate matrices and you're going to put them into one big matrix. Okay, and like an augmented matrix is what it is, because this is like your x1 column, x2, x3, and this is your constant slash solution. So it's like saying 1x1 plus 5x2 minus 3x3 equals -4. So we're going to put it in one big matrix. It does help if you write -7 instead of +7. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to find out what h is going to equal. Well, one of the things that I noticed right here was that x3 right here does equal 0 in this line. So if I can break this down and find out what x1 and x2 equal, even if it's still in the form of h, I can plug those back in to the equation that matches with this. -2x1 minus 7x2 equals h. Okay, so I was thinking it was going to be that hard at first, and it was that hard when I had a +7 there, but it actually turns out to work real nice. So we want to get it kind of in reduced row echelon form. We need to start out trying to do that, where we have 1, 0, 0, and then a number, and then 0, 1, 0, and a number, and then that third column being 0, 0. We can't get a 1. It's going to stay 0, and then there's our h. Okay, so I'm going to start out and I'm going to combine row 1 plus row 2 is going to equal row 2. So remember, the only row that changes here is row 2. Okay, even if I'd multiplied row 1 by something, still the only row that changes is row 2. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put 1, 5, -3, -4, -2, -7, 0, and h. And then I'm going to put my new row 2 in there, and that should be 0, 1, -2, and -1. Okay, so that worked out pretty good. Now I need to get that -2 to turn into 0, so I'm going to say 2 times row 1 plus row 3 is going to equal row 3. So I've got 1, 5, -3, -4, 0, 1, -2, -1. And here I go. I've got now 0, then 10 minus 7 is 3, then -6 plus 0 is -6. And then I have 2 times -4 is -8 plus h. Okay, now I need to turn that 3 in row 3 into a 0. So I'm going to say -3 times row 2 plus row 3 is going to equal row 3 again. Okay, so row 1 stays the same. Row 2 stays the same because he's still looking pretty good right now. And then here we go on row 3. I'm going to say -3 times row 2 and add that to row 3. Well, that's 0 plus 0. Then I have -3 plus 3 is 0. Then I have +6 minus 6 is 0. And then I have, if I say -3 times -1, that's +3 minus 8 plus h, which gives me -5 plus h. So we can now look at this little row right here. What are we saying there? We're saying that 0 equals -5 plus h. It's really saying 0 times x1 plus 0 times x2 plus 0 times x3 equals -5 plus h. Well, those are all zeros because 0 times x1 is 0 plus 0 times x2 is 0 plus 0 times x3 is 0. So I've got 0 equals -5h, which lets me find h. So 5 equals h. Very nice when we write the problem down correctly. All